Okay, so let's have a function declaration within a structure. So again, we have on top the the preprocessor directive, the IO stream, the IO manip, and the C string, and then the definition of the structure, same thing as what we had earlier, the student type, including the first name, the last name, the course grade, test score, P score, and GPA. Now, there will be no global declaration yet since we're going to use function declaration. So I'm going to use two types of function declaration, a function that has a return value with passing parameter and no return value but with passing parameter. So this one, we're going to use this to get the course grade of the value when we actually get the GPA. GPA is test score plus P score divided by 2. Once we get the GPA, then we test whether the value of the GPA is greater than or equals to 90, 80, 70, 60. Then we're going to give the equivalent grade again from A, B, C, D, and F for failed. Okay, so we're going to process it in the GetGrade. Okay, the testing condition if. For the GetPrint, we just want to display the final output on screen by using the GetPrint function. Now, for the main program, what should be the content of the main program? Okay, so let's just omit the stud. I think we're not going to make use of this one. We need only the new student again. And new student has a structured name type of student type. This is the object. So again, we ask the user to input the first name, the last name, the test score, and programming score within the main program. Once we input the value for the first name, last name, test score, and program score, we're going to compute for the GPA by processing new student P score plus new student P score divided by 2 to get the GPA. Once we get the GPA, we're going to call the function GetGrade for us to process whatever the equivalent value of the GPA. So we're going to make use of the object new student, assign it, and then GetGrade. And then again, since the structure is named as new student, if you still remember, in our example here, we already assigned the value of the name, the last name, but the course grade is not yet processed because we need to call first, the GetGrade to get the value of the course grade. So we need to send this data, okay? Send this data, the entire data of the new student object to GetGrade. That's why I put new student here. Then when we return the value, we need to return the value also in the new student, specifically within the course grade. That's why on the left operand, we also use the new student. Okay? Now, once we call the GetGrade, let's call the GetGrade, jump on the GetGrade. Okay? So from the GetGrade, since we have the parameters xstud, we're going to make use of the xstud instead of the new student. So that's why we tested it by using the xstud, and then again, since we're talking about getting the course grade, so we need to get the GPA first. If the GPA from the field name of the from the new student is greater than or equals to 90, then we need to return the value of course grade equal to A. Okay, if it's greater than or equal to 80, then we return the value of P. If it's greater than or equals to 70, we return the value of C. If it's greater than or equals to 60, we return the value of D. But if it's less than 60 or 60 below, we're going to return the value of F. Now here, we still return the value of xstud. So that means it's just the same thing as when we call GetGrade. For example, this is the GetGrade. We're going to make use of the xstud parameter. Whatever the value of a new student will then be copied to xstud. So since we have already the value for the first name, last name, test score, prog score, GPA, again, we specify what particular member only we're going to compute for the grade or for the course grade. So we use the GPA, that's the GPA, and then we also use getting the course grade, the C grade, and this is the C grade portion. So if this is 78.5, okay, 78.5, So that is greater than or equals to 70. So C grade or course grade should have a value of C here. Okay? And then, once we have already processed the value of the course grade, all the values again will be returned here. Return Xtud. So that means it's just the same thing as pass by reference. It will then copy the value also of the course grade for new student from Xtud. Okay? So if you're going to take a look at the value of Xtud from the GetGrade are just the same thing as the new student. So now, here, returning the value from the main, that's why we have new student here. So new student is the entire value of members within the new student object. Okay? Now, next, after doing that, let's call another function GetPrint to print the values of the course grade and the GPA and the first name and the last name. So we need to send again the value of the new student to GetPrint naman. So this becomes GetPrint. Okay? And then this time, there's no, I think GetPrint doesn't have any return value, but there is a student type structure, and then we have the parameter student. Okay? So in that case, in GetPrint, we're going to make use of student to display the value of first name, last name, course grade, test score, prog score, and GPA of new student. Okay? So instead of using the new student in void GetPrint or GetPrint function, we use student for the first name, student for the last name, student for the GPA, and student for the C grade. So let's run the code. So name is Gloren, then Fuentes, score for example 78 and 85. Once we press the enter key, GPA is 81.50 and the equivalent grade is B. Okay, so what if my first name is two or more than one name? So let's run the code again. So let's say for example, Jose Antonio and then Fuentes. Season. Okay, the score 56, 67. So Jose Antonio Fuentes Season, GPA 61.5. The grade is equivalent to D. Okay, so that's the structure within a function.